like you could reach out and touch the ground. It's like right over there. I've been looking at the Tetons my entire life. Leaving my house on my drive to school in the morning, I would see the Grand. And then learning as I got older that people climb up that was just mind-blowing. Everyone here just really shares this passion, love for the outdoors and nature, and appreciates how magical it is to get to be here. I was born with PFFD, the most severe case where I'm actually missing my entire left femur. So I don't have a left knee, a left femur, a left hip joint. And since I could walk around the age of 1, I've walked with a prosthetic leg. My parents and family did an awesome job of never telling me I was different or couldn't do something. Kids at daycare would ask me like, "Oh, what's wrong with your leg?" And I just said, "Nothing, like, it doesn't hurt. What are you talking about? I'm fine." Started skiing at the age of 3, a little late start. Skiing was definitely my passion. That was my favorite. A time to really feel free, to ski as fast as you can, to carve up groomers, to float around in fluffy powder, and just feel like you're flying. Getting to be out in the snow is just one of my favorite things. About the time I turned 13, putting all that weight on one foot that does so much, it just became incredibly painful. I was starting to realize that my leg was a disability, something I'd never even thought of before. For the first time in my life, dealing with different prosthetists and having different prosthetics made and having them not work out and having knee pain while I was skiing got me pretty down. I started to lose my identity when the activities and things that I loved so much weren't part of my life anymore. I was depressed and bummed out and didn't know what to do to make myself happy anymore. Then at some point I just realized, you know what, this is more challenging. It's less efficient to walk with one leg. That's why people are born with 2 legs. But okay, whatever. Not gonna stop doing the things that I loved, because when I stopped doing them, I don't know, life wasn't full. I was missing a part of myself. So I first discovered yoga near the end of high school. I went to one class, the next day went back again, and the next day I went back again, and just continued to consistently practice at this studio and discover the different ways that my body could move. It took a little bit in the beginning of trial and error to find out what exactly worked for me, knowing that I can't balance on my left leg. How can I do this in a different way to get the same essence of the pose? And it never felt debilitating. It was always based around discovering how to make things work for your body. It was an eye-opening experience physically, and as I practiced more, it became something that meant even more to me mentally. Whether it was related to my leg or just some stressful encounter, I realized by just stopping, connecting to my breath, doing my best to become present in this moment, nothing else really matters. after hiking around in the Tetons all summer, building up my confidence, preparing my body, and training, I set my sights to summit the Grand Teton. I didn't know how exactly it would work for me and with my leg, what kind of challenges I would experience. The last test, the last big hike before the Grand was the middle. It was 3,000 feet over 5 miles where I set up camp at the Meadows. So the next morning I could wake up early to do the next 3,000 feet of steep bouldering up to the summit. Heading into the middle, I had a really hard time. Sometimes each step forward felt like 3 steps back. Started getting pretty down, and every time I thought I was closer, it still seemed so far away. I had to take it back to, okay, here's my goal. This is what I want to accomplish. This isn't easy, and that's okay. You're going to feel rewarded. You're going to feel better. You can do this. Let go of the negativity and do it. This is pretty awesome. It's definitely the highest I've ever been. I feel like you could reach out and touch the Grand. It's like right over there. Gonna be going up the Grand in a week and 1 day. It's pretty exciting. Climbing in the middle took so much longer than I had ever expected it would. Made me more nervous and more afraid of what was going to happen on the Grand. I packed my pack full of 3 days worth of food and tons of warm layers ready to see freezing cold temperatures up at the summit. The first day was the 7-mile and over 4,000 vertical feet approach to the upper saddle. You've been hiking on this dirt path, and then you get to this transition turning point, and there's steep rock walls instead of trees around you, and you're climbing over boulders. It was so windy, and then it started to get colder and colder, that it actually started to snow and was blowing snow in, like, sideways. And that made me and the team, everyone who was up there, pretty nervous about what the weather would be like. You have to really respect nature and appreciate that this is a big deal. This is dangerous once you get up that high. If weather is not going to cooperate, you're not meant to climb the mountain that day. On the summit day, I woke up in the dark, and when I looked at the sky, I saw stars, which was an awesome sign because it meant it was clear and that the summit was possible. We set out for the final and most technical 3,000 feet to the summit. Put on our headlamps and warm clothes and transitioned from walking up a mountain to actually climbing. The step across was definitely a challenging moment. It's super exposed. You look down and you can see so far down. As I was climbing up and got into that little moment where, oh, what I tried to do didn't work, my mind started to go blank, and I realized that my heart was pounding and I wasn't breathing. And so then the yoga came back in, I started breathing and said, why is my heart beating so hard? Oh, I'm just really high off the ground right now and I'm terrified. Okay, that's all right. And then went on to make the next move and felt my heart rate start to slow back down, not be so terrified anymore. Once we got to the golden staircase, that was when the sun came out, and that was kind of the moment where, okay, one foot in front of the other, one hand over the other, and here we go, getting up this thing. Things were challenging and didn't always work the first time I tried it. But based on the mindset I was in, just so excited and so happy to be where I was and doing what I was and having this finally happening, finally making my dream come true, it wasn't an issue. Any kind of negativity, any little mini failure, if you could call that, didn't exist. Anything that was challenging was just more fuel, more encouragement to push harder, to go further. And I looked and I'm like, wait, is that it? Right up there? That's it? I can see it? We're there? Made it there. Cried a little bit under my sunglasses and got to stand up on the top, touch the marker, and look down at all of Jackson. This has been something I've looked at my entire life, every single day, on the way to school, on the way to work, and it was always that far-off dream of one day, maybe, yeah, that might happen. And then as it got closer to, oh, now I'm an adult, can I do that? And now I'm here, the dream's a reality. I'm so happy.